Hi everyone, welcome to Fat to Thin Senior, RNY. I'm Raven, I'm 76 years old and I'm getting ready for gastric bypass surgery. Medicaid has approved the surgery. November 4th is my 4th nutritionist visit, and then I get to meet the surgeon and then on to surgery, schedule the surgery. In this vlog I've been searching my kitchen to find out what tools I've already had. You probably already have them too. So let's get started. First thing I got together was chopsticks. I've used chopsticks for a very long time, but you probably have some in your kitchen, probably from the Chinese restaurant, or you can get a dozen of these from Walmart or the dollar store. But I use chopsticks a lot, so I ended up getting some steel chopsticks. Now you can get 5 pairs for like $8 from Walmart, and this will slow you down big time. I mean, you can't pick up a lot of stuff on a chopstick, and you're not allowed to do what the Orientals do and put the bowl up here and, you know, go like that. It's not allowed. Next thing I've got is silverware. I was going to go out and buy bariatric silverware, but they're expensive. I'm on Social Security, and I happened to see Dr. Vong blog, and he said the food you eat should be the size of a nickel. Now I don't know how big a nickel is in other countries, but it's about a little less than 3/4 of an inch. So on a teaspoon, let me get closer. On a teaspoon, it's just about that much. So you can imagine what it's like on a tablespoon. On a fork, it's about that much. So I said, okay, go to a salad fork. They're smaller, right? Not really. And I found that the infant spoons and forks that you see at Walmart, baby stores, that kind of stuff, the spoon is just about as big as a regular teaspoon, just maybe a little tiny bit smaller. So if you're considering using one of those utensils, you still have to get down to a nickel. These things, cups and measuring spoons and things like that, I'm sure you've got them in your kitchen. The thing is to use them, you know, measure out your cereal, measure out your soup, etc., etc., etc. So I'm sure you've got all of these in your kitchen. Maybe not the, well, maybe. I was going to say maybe not the chopsticks, but you probably got some from Chinese store, restaurant. I think the next big thing you need is some really good knives. Now you're going to have to do a lot of chopping and cutting and carrying on, and a good knife is safe, actually. Safer than a good sharp knife is safer than a dull cut knife. If you get cut with a sharp knife, you're likely to get a nice clean cut. And if it's bad enough, they can sew it up and it'll heal up and probably have no scar or really close to no scar. So it's probably the best deal. And you can chop faster and better and all of that kind of good stuff. I would suggest you also get a set of kitchen scissors. These don't have to be really good, but they're handy. But always a good sharp knife. Then I looked at, a lot of people use Pam spray and all that kind of stuff. I got bottles of olive oil and I'm not going to toss them out. So I got me a, what do you call it, silicone brush. And you can brush the food. You can brush the trays and stuff like that. $1 in the dollar store. As for the spray, pan spray, you got to keep doing that over and over and over and over again. Use a lot of it. I also looked at plates. This is a regular dinnerware set. You know, it's got 3 plates to it. I use these for serving. Of course, I haven't had any guests in this place. I've only just moved in here about 4 months ago. That's big. Look at this. It's bigger than my head, you know? This is what I have been eating on. And this is 8 inches. It's just about as big as my head. But I use the spot in the middle, okay? And that's about the same size as a saucer. This is what Dr. Vong suggests that you eat off of the teacup plate. Now I'm looking at this and I said, yeah, that makes sense, because the inner part of this plate is the same size as this whole plate, the whole thing. So if I use this plate, and I probably would eat just what's in the middle here, that's considerably smaller. So I'm looking at, as I get closer to surgery, I'm going to go to a smaller plate. And of course I eat cereal. So I happen to have some ramekins around. This one is from Christmas. I don't think I ever used it. I think I bought it so that I could make, what do you call those, mug muffins and things like that. I never used it. So it's been sitting around, and I've carted it from place to place, and I think I finally get to use it. It holds about 1.5 cups, a little teeny bit more than 1.5 cups, and I wouldn't be filling it up to the brim anyway. It's a good deal. Can't overeat the cornflakes that way. And I actually went out and spent money on this one. And this is one of those cups that has ounces and whatnot. Everybody online seems to be saying that you should have this. I don't know. It was cheap enough, so I got it. What the heck? And then there's these things. These have, you know, like little Tupperware things. I thought, I got them from Walmart. And I ordered them online, so I didn't really get to see them because they don't carry these kind of things in the store in this neighborhood. I thought that I could reheat in the microwave, but nowhere on this package does it say microwave safe or even dishwasher safe. So who knows? But they're small. They're only about 2 ounces. And I probably won't be using them that long anyway, so what the heck. And then, of course, there's the kitchen scale. As you can tell, mine has been used a lot. And I do use it a lot. I've been on a diet for a long time. So most of this stuff, any of us who have been on diets for a while would have most of this stuff around the house. There are 2 other things that I think that you should have too. Well, 3. And that is the NutriBullet. This little bad boy. This is my second one. I wore out the first one. I had at one time, what do you call those, a blender. I think the only thing I did with that blender was to mix margaritas and things like that. And somewhere along the line in my many moves, it disappeared. I have no idea what happened to it, and I obviously didn't need it. So I would say, get yourself a NutriBullet. They're expensive, but, I mean, they cost about $100. You can get some cheaper ones and whatnot, but a good one is worth the price. I've used mine almost every single day, making smoothies or whatever, you know. And a teapot. I have an electric kettle. Oops. And it comes with this little plate thingy with the nipple sticking up on the bottom. This thing will heat up a gallon of water. Yeah, about a gallon of water. In probably less than 5 minutes. So if you're making soups, and other things like that, really, really instant soups and whatever. Instant oatmeal, it's really fast. So the less water you heat, the less time it takes. And then there's cups. This is invaluable. I drink water out of this one. It will keep water cold overnight, sitting out on a table in the middle of Nevada in the summer. This is also one of my favorites. You can tell it's well used. It's all scratched up. This I drink my tea out of. I do one of these a day. So this is 28 ounces. This is 32 ounces. So you do 2 of these and 1 of those a day, and you got all your water. I keep this around for when I travel. It's got one of those, oh, I don't know where the ball is. It's got one of those shaker balls that goes in here, looks like a whisk in the shape of a ball. And it's handy when you're going out because you can kind of like hang on to it, you know, do that kind of thing. This one I got from Weight Watchers probably 2 years ago when I first joined. You're supposed to put fruit in there and make water and fruit infusions. Obviously, I have never used it, but I could see where this is going to come in handy. And it probably is good if you're outside all the time, you can't stand the taste of water, that kind of stuff. I personally like the taste of water. So what can I tell you? And the last thing I've got over here is a thermometer, which I have no idea what I did with it. Here it is. Now, these, when you come out of the hospital, from what I understand, you need to track your body. If you're going into a fever, you would know if you happen to have a thermometer. A lot of people don't have thermometers in the house. These are inexpensive and definitely worth money. Worth the money. So, I think that's it. If I left out something, please let me know. I have no idea. I'm getting ready for this surgery and I'm looking forward to it. I do have some, I realize I'm walking out of the frame. I have it, what I really want to do is to cook up that ricotta bake and a couple of other ones and try it out, because I have a real aversion to soft, slimy pudding kind of things. I don't care for yogurt, I don't like pudding, I'm not crazy about Jell-O, definitely dislike oatmeal, and things of that sort. And here I'm going to be facing the mushy stage, the pureed stage. So I'm going to make some for the next video and see how I do. Maybe there's modifications I could make and things like that. So I look forward to talking with you again. I'll see you next Friday. You have a good week and blessed be.